Okay, deep diver, welcome. We're heading out to Cupertino today, well, virtually anyway, to talk Apple's WWDC keynote. That was June 9th, 2025. Their tagline was on the horizon.
Right, and we're using that CNN piece you shared as our guide. The goal here is to really get into what Apple and now figure out what it actually means for you, for your devices, and how it fits into the bigger picture with competitors.
Yeah, because Apple's in a bit of a weird spot, wouldn't you say? This WWDC, it felt different. Less about some flashy new hardware, like remember the Vision Pro last year?
Oh yeah, definitely.
This was much more about AI, artificial intelligence, but kind of woven into the things people already have your iPhone, the watch, Mac, that kind of stuff.
Exactly. And the source, the article, points out this perception that Apple's maybe playing catch up a bit in AI compared to, say, Google or Samsung, even Meta. They've been pretty loud about their AI features lately.
Plus, you've got the business side of things. iPhone sales growth slowing down, worries about trade wars maybe pushing up prices. The article actually said Apple badly needed a win.
Yeah, there was definitely that pressure. And analysts seemed a bit split. You had Dan Ives from Wedbush saying they were sort of playing it safe. Evolutionary, not revolutionary.
Okay, playing it safe. But then Ted Mortensen from Baird suggested maybe these updates are, well, enough to stop the devices feeling, what was the phrase, no longer cool, at least for now.
It's that classic Apple tension, right? Is it groundbreaking or is it just keeping pace? But, and this is crucial, Apple has that massive advantage. The source highlights the installed base. What is it, over 2 billion active devices?
So billion, that's a thing, isn't it? Even if a feature isn't brand new to the world, when Apple builds it into iOS or macOS and pushes it out.
Oh, suddenly hundreds of millions, maybe billions of people have access to it.
Yeah.
Just because they're already using an iPhone or a Mac, it changes the scale instantly.
So the delivery mechanism is huge. And the name they're putting on all this AI stuff, Apple Intelligence.
Right, Apple Intelligence, we heard that a lot.
Okay, so what is that really? Is it just branding or is there something more to it?
Well, think of it as their overall approach. It's about making the tools you already use, mail, messages, photos, whatever, smarter and more useful. And a big part of their pitch is doing a lot of this processing on your device.
Ah, okay. So not sending everything up to the cloud like some other AI systems might.
Exactly. They're really leaning into privacy. Keep your personal data local. Now, that might mean some tasks aren't quite as maybe powerful as what a giant cloud AI could do, but it's their trade-off. Privacy first.
Got it. AI with that Apple privacy angle. And it's not like one single app, it's embedded everywhere.
Pretty much. Woven right in.
Yeah.
For example, one of the big features they showed off was live translation.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. So real-time translation happening right inside messages or on a FaceTime call, even regular phone calls.
Yep. Across iPhone, Mac, watch, iPad. And they made a point of saying it works smoothly if you're using AirPods too.
That definitely feels like they're catching up, or at least matching features. The source mentioned Google's Pixel Buds, Samsung phones, Meta's glasses. They already do similar things.
For sure. Apple's basically saying, hey, you don't need extra gear for this. Your iPhone can handle it now. Makes the whole ecosystem stickier, more competitive.
Makes sense. And there were other, maybe smaller AI things for calls and messages too.
Yeah, quite a few. That call screening feature, for instance, that sounds potentially really useful.
How does that work exactly? Like if you get a call from a number you don't know?
Right. Your phone can automatically answer it, ask who's calling and why, and then it shows you the answer in text while the phone is still ringing. So you can decide right then if you want to take it, ignore it, or just send it to voicemail.
Whoa, okay. Screening before you even talk to them. That could kill a lot of spam calls.
That seems to be the idea. And kind of related, if you get messages from unknown senders, they'll go into a separate folder now. Easier to sort through, spot junk.
Okay, cleaning up the inbox. And what about that? Hold assist for when you're stuck on hold.
Yes, in the phone app. It can basically sit on hold for you. You put the phone down, it listens, and then it alerts you when an actual human finally picks up on the other end.
Huh. Okay, that's a nice convenience, though I think the article pointed out.
Yeah, Google's had something similar on Android for a bit.
Yeah.
So again, Apple bringing a known feature into their own walled garden, making it seamless for their users.
Right. And they also added some fun stuff to messages, polls, and backgrounds.
Colorful backgrounds, you can run polls in your group chats. Definitely seems aimed at competing with features you see in apps like WhatsApp.
So lots of AI focus on communication. What else got the Apple Intelligence touch?
Well, going back to making all the tools smarter, they're actually opening up their on-device AI model to third-party app developers.
Oh, interesting. So other apps can use Apple's AI.
Potentially, yes. The idea is that developers could build smarter features into their own apps using Apple's framework. The source gave examples like maybe Cahoots adding AI features or a hiking app like AllTrails using it for something specific.
So the smarts could pop up in places you don't expect, not just Apple's own apps.
Could be. Apple Maps is also getting a bit smarter. It's supposed to learn your routines, like if you always grab coffee on the way to work.
Oh, right.
It'll start offering to add that stop to your directions automatically. Little personalizations, things like that.
Okay, practical. And for Apple Watch users, fitness stuff?
Yep. A new workout buddy feature. It taps into your health, data, performance, history, all that to give you personalized motivation while you're actually exercising.
Using that data the watch is already collecting?
Yeah.
Smart. Was there anything visual?
Visual intelligence. Basically, if you see an object in a picture on your screen, maybe in a photo someone sent you or on a website.
Like a pair of sneakers.
Exactly.
Okay.
You can use this feature to search the web for that specific object, find where to buy those sneakers you saw on Instagram, that kind of thing.
Okay, so lots of these AI features sprinkled throughout, but
Yeah.
the article really hammered on something that wasn't there, didn't it? The big Siri upgrade.
Yeah, that was definitely noticeable. The elephant in the room, as they say. Apple talked about a major AI boost for Siri way back at the last WWDC, but then
Yeah.
nothing. It got delayed indefinitely.
And this year, the message was basically still not ready. Craig Federighi said it needed more time to meet their high quality bar. They'll talk more in the coming year.
Right. Which, according to the source, really frustrated some analysts. Dipanjan Chatterjee from Forrester used pretty strong language, calling the silence deafening.
Oof. Deafening. His point was that these other features, like fixing typos or adding emoji, they're nice, but they don't make up for not having that truly smart conversational AI people expect from Siri eventually.
Yeah, he said they can't fill the yawning void. It really puts a spotlight on the fact that Siri, their main voice assistant, still seems to be lagging behind where many hoped it would be by now, even as they add AI elsewhere.
So beyond the AI features, there were some other really big shifts too, right? Like the whole look and feel of the software.
Oh, yeah, the design overhaul, liquid glass.
Liquid glass. Sounds
Ah.
fancy. What is it?
It's this new design language, apparently inspired by the Vision Pro headset. Think glossy, translucent, see-through elements, bringing that kind of aesthetic across iPhone, iPad, Mac, everything.
And didn't someone at Apple say this was the biggest visual change since, like, way back, iOS 7?
Yeah, Alan Dye, VP of Human Interface Design, said it's the most significant redesign since 2013. So visually, it could feel quite different after more than a decade of the current look.
Wow. Okay. But maybe even bigger, or at least more confusing at first glance, was the operating system naming.
Oh, the OS 26 thing. Yeah, that definitely caused a few double takes.
Jumping straight to OS 26 for iPhone, Mac, Watch, iPad, everything. What's the logic there? It seems random.
Well, according to the source, there are two main reasons. First, it connects the OS version to the year you'll mostly be using it. So it launches fall 2025, you use it through fall 2026, hence OS 26.
Huh. Okay. Aligning version with the usage year. I guess that makes some sense.
And the second reason is consistency. You know how before you had macOS 15 and watchOS 11 and iOS 18, all different numbers, even though they came out around the same time?
Right, because they started at different times.
Exactly. Now they're all just OS 26, one number across the board.
Ah, okay. So it's not just a weird jump. It's about the year and making it unified. Like it's all one system.
Precisely. And that analyst, Chatterjee, he pointed out that this unified naming, along with the consistent design, really pushes the idea of building bridges across devices, making it feel like one seamless Apple experience no matter what device you pick up.
That fits their whole ecosystem play. Makes total sense.
Okay.
So unified name. Did they do anything to make the system work better, particularly for getting stuff done? Productivity.
Yeah, a couple of key things, especially for Mac and iPad. On the Mac, Spotlight search is getting boosted by that Apple intelligence.
How? Is it more than just finding files now?
The idea is it can start taking actions for you across different apps without you having to leave Spotlight, like maybe drafting an email reply or finding specific info inside a document right from the search bar.
Okay. That sounds a bit like Apple's take on those AI agents that Google and OpenAI are working on. Getting the AI to do things, not just find things.
Could be heading that way. And then for the iPad, a big one, something users have wanted for ages. much better window management.
Oh, finally, yes. The article mentioned you can actually resize windows properly now, and they stay that size.
Yes, you resize them, they remember the size. And there's better support for arranging multiple apps side by side, kind of like tiles.
That feels huge for the iPad. That could genuinely make it feel more like a laptop replacement for people who need to multitask seriously.
Definitely addresses a long-standing limitation. So, okay, let's step back for a second, deep diver. Looking at everything we've pulled from the source, you've got Apple weaving AI or Apple Intelligence into specific features. Translation, call screening, hold assist, workouts, visual search.
Mm-hmm. Then there's the big visual change, liquid glass, and that unified OS 26 name tying everything together.
Right, and those productivity boosts, especially Spotlight on Mac and the windowing on iPad.
So think about your own routine, how you use your Apple Gear day to day. Which of these things actually jumps out at you? Is it the call screening, the hold assist, maybe the workout buddy, or searching for stuff in photos, the new look? Or maybe if you're an iPad user, those window changes are the real game changer.
And coming back to the competition, do these updates feel like enough? Enough to quiet the apples behind an AI talk? Or does that Siri delay still leave a big question mark hanging over everything? What really feels like the most impactful change to you from this whole keynote?
So, wrapping this dive up, based on the source, Apple played a very Apple game this year, didn't they? Evolutionary steps, integrating AI subtly across the board rather than one big AI splash, refreshing the look, unifying the system.
Yeah, focusing on the ecosystem, making the existing stuff work better, smarter. The real proof, though, will be in the pudding, right?
Yeah.
When the software actually ships this fall and people start using it.
Absolutely. And maybe here's a final thought to chew on. Apple's strategy seems to be these subtle additions of AI everywhere, focused on privacy, on device processing. They didn't launch a single all knowing AI assistant like some competitors are pushing towards, especially with Siri still TBD. What does that specific approach tell us about Apple's long term vision for AI? And how might that feel different for you using their products compared to, say, using Google Assistant or Alexa in the future?